I'm trying to think of who else that I'm like I could watch their game, that I don't mind watching their game.
And the only other team that I watch, because one of my favorite players was Barry Sanders, and it was the Lions.
Detroit, yeah.
And still to this day, I try to watch them because they got Matthew Stafford. Now they got AP. Snack Harrison, who was playing for the Giants, got traded there. So Detroit Lion probably I had a closer, more thing to it because Barry Sanders was there, and he was my favorite player. So if I had to root for another team, it would be the Detroit Lions just because of Barry Sanders. Even now, but now you got a dude from New England running that team, Patricia, and I'm like, damn, can I root for somebody who I don't like, who was coaching in New England Patriots?
Well, you're rooting for your offensive coordinator is a fucking
exactly.
Cowboy, so.
He's a cowboy.
Yeah.
Now he turn my quarterback around, and they're saying he can, because he turned Romo around. He helped Dak Prescott. Now he could help Daniel Jones. But to answer your question, the only other team that I would probably root for, it would be Detroit Lions because they have Barry Sanders, hands down. That's it.
So me, the Saints. The Saints has always been one team that, you know what? They didn't bother me, but I like them.
I'm not that guy that's going to jump from team to team to team to team.
I didn't mind the Raiders, too.
Oh, no, the Raiders you can't...
The Raiders is an organization that I've always kind of liked the colors.
The colors, the coaches.
Yeah. The fans, yeah.
Ever since Bo Jackson went to that team, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Raiders, I had never had nothing against. Yeah. That's why I will probably buy me a Las Vegas Raiders hat because
so then the Raiders will be another team.
Another team,
yeah.
But it's not like I'm gonna sit here and watch a whole Raiders game like, oh shit, because I root for the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? But Detroit Lions games, I will sit. But back in the days, we didn't have red zone.
Yeah.
You only had to watch the highlights.
Yeah.
And me watching number 20 doing jukes and here and there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. If I wasn't a Giants fan, I think I would have been a Detroit Lions fan. You know what I'm saying? Because the hat, amazing.
You know what's crazy that people always ask me, and I get it even from my coworkers. They're like, "How the hell?" Well, my coworker, she's a Giant fan. She's like, "How the fuck you became a Bears fan?" I said, "I started watching. I knew of the Bears in '85. For me, I was a young kid. Walter Payton was like the LeBron James at that time. So I fell in love with him because I always wanted to be a running back. But then they had a cool quarterback.
Coolest quarterback
Jim
ever.
McMahon. So I remember seeing him off of Wheaties. He had spiky hair. That was
first
his style.
white guy to ever rap. For me.
And then they had the fridge.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things, like I told my coworker, that I first started watching football and I liked, and I told her I didn't have... Because I noticed with football, a lot of people have, it's been passed down. It's been like, and I understand it. When I used to watch baseball when I was young, I watched the Mets more than I watched the Yankees because the Yankees were sucks.
Yeah.
Because they had Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden.
Yeah.
But Richie's father, I didn't have a father in my life, but Richie's father loved the Yankees, so I loved the Yankees, and Richie loved the Yankees. So because of them, I love the Yankees. But if I didn't know better, I probably would be a Mets fan.
Yeah.
So the same thing with football. I didn't have a father. Like, I notice a lot of people who tell me, my father was a Giants fan. So it goes down hand in hand.
But the thing is, my father wasn't a Giants fan.
He wasn't a football fan.
He wasn't a football fan. He was a big baseball fan.
But you probably started watching in '86 more.
Oh, yeah.
Because you guys won the Super Bowl after the Bears did.
And the thing is, the dudes in my block were all Giants fans.
And that's the thing is, in Richie's block where I used to hang, there was actually 2 or 3 guys who was into the Bears.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know for what reason, because they were older than me, but they were like, they like the Bears. So I just loved Walter Payton. And Singletary. So there was a lot of players that I'm like, I really gravitated to. I didn't know about the Giants until '86 with Joe Morris. I like Joe Morris, that running back.
My thing is, I became a Yankee fan because my dad wasn't a Yankee fan. He was a Blue Jays fan. I always told you this. All the Dominican players were there.
Yeah, I know.
All of them. And that's the only time we will go to Yankee Stadium. And I fell in love with the pinstripes. That was my thing. I fell
Yeah.
in love with the pinstripes. And ever since that day, I was like, hands down, I'm a Yankee fan. I could have been a Blue Jays fan right now, but that was my dad's team. I just fell in love because we used to go to the Bronx. It was a walking distance.
But it's funny, a lot of the Blue Jays fans then turned to the Red Sox
exactly, because all the Dominican players went.
Yeah.
But the thing was, they went from Toronto to Montreal to the fucking Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
So it was like a 3-team trade.
Yeah.
You Dominican, those are the 3 teams. If you were a Dominican in the 80s, you're a Blue Jays fan. Especially because of George Bell and Tony Fernandez.
Yeah, I know. I used to go, my mom's ex-boyfriend, he used to take me to all the games. And they used to always go with the Boston thing. I was a Yankee fan already.
Yeah.
But everything was Campana, Cabeza Fernandez.
Oh, yeah, forget about it.
There was someone else. I don't know, it wasn't Moises Alou, but it was another Dominican player that was in Toronto as well. But because those two really drove it, especially George Bell. But, yeah, no, like I said, I don't even know where the fuck we were at right now. But yeah, like, going into football, that's the reason I started liking my team. I don't know where the fuck we went into in regards to the whole football stuff. But, anyways, our 2 teams play this week. They play against each other, so it should be fun. Probably suck for me because if the Giants win, I'm the only Bears fan, so I'm going to hear a lot of shit. But if the Bears win, then I could talk a lot of shit. So that's pretty much it in terms of that. Going into TV shows, a few things that I've watched in the past week. Me and my girl, we watched, what was it? Maybe was that Vargas shit? Yeah, I think it's Raising Victor Vargas, I think it was. Watched that on Friday. That was pretty good. I've always seen that movie. Like, I always heard of people who tell me, yo, I watched that movie. It's like a low budget movie. It's kind of one of like those low budget, kind of like the kids movie, something like that. It's based in LES. It's based on a kid that we watch from Beauty and Baker, a famous actor that we've seen. You ever seen Raising Victor Vargas?
Oh, that's an old movie.
So me and my
They
girl,
were in the Bronx.
No, Lower East Side.
That's the kid from the show on HBO with the curly hair.
But he's also in the show that me and Yana watching called Beauty and the Baker.
He's the Spanish kid, the Puerto Rican kid.
He's Dominican.
He's Dominican?
He's Dominican.
What's his name? Vic?
Well, I don't know his real name in real life. It's weird because in
Raising Victor what?
Raising Victor Vargas.
Did he live with his grandmother in the movie?
Yeah.
The
With
one
that
in
funny
the
grandmother.
Bronx.
Yeah.
He was trying to get with the girl.
It's in LES.
Yes, okay.
So I watched that for the first time this week because I always heard of that movie, but I never saw
I've
it.
seen that movie twice.
And me and my Yanni, we watched it when we did the edible. So we watched that, and but he's in that show. I told you, Beauty and the Beast. He's Beauty and the Baker. He's the baker because he's dating like he's like a Paris Hilton sort of.
He had a show on HBO with Luis Guzman.
Making
Made in America.
Made in America.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's also, like I said, in the show that me and my girl watched, which is a good show. That he dates is like a regular guy meeting. He's dating Paris Hilton.
Okay.
So he's a baker and he starts dating, but he's based in Miami. But in that show is weird because he's Cuban, but then there's parts that he goes to Puerto Rico in the show, and he does like different things because he's a baker. He knows about food, and all that stuff. But so we watched that on Friday. I'm getting into TV shows. Other than that, I watched what you told me about The Social.
Oh my god, that's fucking good. Fucking documentary, bro.
It was a good documentary. The only thing I didn't like when they mixed in the TV aspects to it.
What was that?
Like they mix in like it's a TV show. Like
that they show you
actors.
The actors. That's the kid from The Binge.
Okay.
The son.
Yes. Yeah. And then you never watched Mad Men. But the guy controlling that they had 3 of him.
Yeah.
He's in Mad Men.
Okay.
He's very famous
But
for Mad Men.
the only reason I like that is because they show you like the back of what the algorithm is.
Yeah.
And then they're building you,
Yeah.
watching you. So that's the only reason I like it.
Yeah.
Because I watched another documentary called The Roman Empire, and it's the same way. So you got historians talking about what happened back in the Roman Empire, but then you get like a little storyline with it. So the same way you saw the social dilemma,
Yeah.
that they
Bless you, baby.
that they show you the 5 to 6 people who created these
Yeah.
social things that we use now.
Yeah.
They show you like in real time, like what we do, like eating dinner with the family, everybody.
So that a lot of people always ask me what I do. A lot of it's kind of based on that because everything is based on advertising. So a lot of the stuff that what the companies I've worked in is all kind of based on data, like Al said, getting data profiles on people. So like if you're gonna serve Al ad, you know that Al's a Giants fan. You know by his habits what kind of TV shows he likes and all that stuff. So you kind of want to show him something that's similar to his audience. Basically, they build an audience profile. So that's a lot of the stuff that I do. So I found it great because I'm like, for me, it's kind of like close to work because we have algorithms as well.
I don't even have kids now yet, but the part that touched me is when they gave you the percentage of how high it's gone from the girls between ages of 12 to 14 that hurt themselves and then commit suicide.
Yeah.
And then the age between 16 and 19. And it's all based on what we watch on Instagram, Facebook. If I put a picture, nobody likes it. Why not? Some people get into depression, kill themselves, hurt themselves.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. So when I have a kid, my baby boy or girl is not going to have a phone until whatever. You know what I'm saying? No. It's you pull the look at one of the co-founders of a certain company that he was in the documentary saying, my kids ain't gonna have a phone until they're 17. It's my rules in my house.
But he knows all the inner workings.
Exactly, because he was part of it.
Excuse me.
He was part of the problem, and he's trying to be a part of the solution. One of the main person in that documentary is the one doing what they call now, what's it called?
Machine learning?
Yeah, or the speeches out to everybody. The main dude with the beard.
So what we're talking about, people, is on Netflix. I think it's called Social Code or something.
Social Dilemma.
Social Dilemma is a docu-series movie. Yeah. It's not a series.
It's a documentary movie.
Yeah, and it's based on how like our phone affects a lot of the stuff. And then these are like big time developers for Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and all those other platforms. And they basically kind of turned the dial because they saw the good that it did. You saw the white. And then they saw like kind of the bad and what's how's it manipulating people.
You saw the white dude with the dreadlocks.
Yeah.
He said when the credits were going, do not ever go when you're watching YouTube.
Yeah.
Do not go to recommended to you.
Yeah.
Search your own videos.
Yeah.
Because once you hear recommended, they got you.
But that's the thing is, most people are gonna choose recommended because that's exactly what they're looking for. Yeah.
So it's a hit or miss. It's how you want to raise your kids. It's whatever.
But it's crazy. Like the one thing that I found, it made so much sense is that they basically said, if you log into Facebook, Albert logs into Facebook, I log into Facebook. His Facebook is going to look different than mine.
Yep.
Anyone else is going to look different than because it's basically built on what you like and everything that you, which is good because, for us, it's kind of catered to us. But at the same time, if someone is racist, it's going to push them more to racist. If someone is whatever against another side, it's gonna push them there. So
I learned so much through that documentary about certain countries that once you buy a phone,
Yeah.
they have
Facebook preloaded.
already
Yeah.